although we didn't win on Saturday, we've got a long overdue second clean sheet of the season. What are your thoughts having watched the game back?
Yeah, very good in terms of the clean sheet. Like you said, it's only the second one we've had in 11 games. We worked heavily on the training field with regards to trying to be better defensively. We've looked at some stats that don't read well in terms of what we've conceded currently in the season, and we've honed in on that with a bit of player development last week, and to go and get a clean sheet on the road against Harrogate was very pleasing. In terms of the performance, I think it was quite an even display between two sides. I felt that they had opportunities to get the opener, and I felt that we did, with potentially Kieran Mert's header, Justin Shaver towards the end, Sorba Thomas if he'd had a little bit more communication in the back post. But overall, I think if you was to go and draw 23 games away from home 0-0, I think you'd be very happy if you was to marry up some positive results at home.
We've got a first win here at Meadow Park since December in our last home game. Do you think that was hanging over the players, and now that it's gone, do you think we'll start to see more home wins?
I don't know how much relevance it had to the players, I have to say. I felt that I knew it early on. I know it was spoken about on BT Sport in their rundown TV programme, and I think that alerted some of the players, but how much that hasn't affected them, I'm not too sure. I felt that in the performances against Wrexham and Chesterfield, that we showed endeavour to try and get results, and that's just this year. I can imagine last year at Salford, against Salford, I felt we was awesome, and we didn't manage to get a win. So how much it played or had an effect, I'm not too sure. It's nice that we finally got a win this year in 2019, and hopefully it's a run and it's a start of saying at Meadow Park that we can continue that and get as many wins as possible here.
And the manner of the win, it was a very exciting game to watch. Do you think that would encourage more fans to come down and support the boys?
If I was a neutral watching the game, I felt it was very good in terms of both attacking teams going at it. I call it sort of NBA end-to-end sort of football, where they're attacking, we're attacking, and as a neutral you'd have enjoyed it. As a punter for Bournemouth, you would have loved it. Why? Because we've scored 3 and they've only scored 1. So I'm hopeful that our recent form in terms of the win at Chorley, live on the box, yes, unfortunate travelling to Eastleigh, but we've backed that up with a win against Dover and then come away from Harrogate with a draw, that a few more punters come in the stadium on Saturday and give us as much support as possible against Stockport. And I can imagine with what they have 6,000-7,000 with their running last year going into their championship season, I can imagine they're going to bring a few 400 here on Saturday. So let's hope we can at least outsing them, outweigh them by double. That would then be a decent crowd for us to go and entertain.
It's Stockport on Saturday. They're doing well this season. A win would see them in the top 4. How do you see this one going?
Tough. Jim Gannon's a very, very good manager. I've crossed paths with him at Northwich, Victoria, when we played them in the FA Cup, and he's a very, very astute manager, knows the league inside out, has got great personnel within his ranks. The availability of Osborne, I like Keane, I like Palmer, the 2 centre-halves, and I've watched them at length, and for me they've played 2 different shapes, a 4-2-3-1, 2 of their last 3 games, and a 3-5-2 against Chorley. So they have scope to change their personnel, change their shape, change their way of playing, and I feel that like any team at this level, they're going to be tough. It's for us and what we do, and I say it in every interview, we're in a good place in a minute. I've got all my squad available to me, which is a luxury that I haven't had in recent weeks. Yes, it's a headache, but it's a good one to have, and we need to make sure that we're on the front foot. We're starting bright. I've given them a couple of days off this week, and with the period that's been happening in terms of 11 games in, I believe, 41 days, there's a game every 4 days, and you add training, travel into that, I think it's a massive impact on players. So I'm hoping they come bounding through the door tomorrow, ready to go work and put a win on the board against Stockport.
And we've got another home game on Tuesday, Notts County. What are your thoughts going into that one? Similar points?
This is it. Look, I think for me, to say that you're playing Stockport and Notts County in the same breath, Saturday, Tuesday, shows where we are as a football club and where this National League is, because I played against Stockport when I was at Swindon in League One, and I remember it very clearly. And for me, they've now joined us in the National League from a promotion from the north, and Notts County have come down from League Two for the first time in their history. Speaks volumes about where the National League is at. I believe it's an extension of League Two. It's an amazing league, and to have the luxury of pitting myself against Jim Gannon and Neil Ardley in the next 2 games is superb. For a player to say you're playing against Stockport and Notts County is, again, a carrot for them to go and get 3 points on the board. We know what New Ardley's about, we know what Notts County are about, but for me, the main focus is Stockport. We need to get them done in terms of organised prep, their strengths, their weaknesses, where we feel we can hurt them, and I then hone in on Notts County on the Sunday, working that on the Monday in prep for Tuesday. So I just think it's an impressive 2 fixtures to have as a manager, as a football club and as a squad coming to Meadow Park.